Family conflict can really feel like you're caught in a storm without a map. It's tough. So, for all the school counselors and parents out there, finding a clear path forward is just crucial. In this explainer, we're going to open up a practical toolkit. It's based on proven psychological principles designed to not just get you through those disagreements, but to actually build a stronger, more collaborative home, one positive step at a time. All right, here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to start with a core idea that might just shift your entire perspective on conflict. Then, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty with 3 practical techniques you can literally start using tonight: reinforcement, shaping, and contracting. And finally, we'll pull it all together to see how these tools build lasting skills for your family's future. Now, this quote right here, this is the cornerstone of everything we're going to talk about. It comes from Cognitive-Behavioural Therapy, or CBT. So why is it so important? Well, think about it. When we're laser-focused on stopping the bad stuff, we get stuck in this endless cycle of nagging, punishment, and it just puts everyone on the defensive. This principle, it completely flips the script. It's such a powerful reminder that it's way more effective to grow the good stuff. Honestly, this one little shift in focus can be a total game changer. So how does this actually translate into action, when tensions are running high? Let's dig into how this new focus on the positive can fundamentally transform how we handle conflict and communication at home. This just illustrates that shift perfectly, doesn't it? The old way feels like you're constantly running around putting out fires, and everybody ends up just exhausted and frustrated. But this new CBT approach, it's all about proactively building a more, say, fire-resistant house for your family. We're moving from being reactive firefighters to becoming proactive architects of a healthier family system. Okay, let's open up that toolkit and pull out our very first tool: reinforcement. This is one of the most direct and, honestly, powerful ways to start putting that core CBT principle into practice, especially when you feel like you're only seeing the negative behaviors. At its heart, reinforcement is super simple. You catch your family members doing something right, and you reward it. That's it. What's happening in the brain is that you're creating a positive feedback loop, which makes that good behavior much more likely to become the natural go-to choice over time. So here's how you do it. It's a simple 3-step process. First, you have to be incredibly specific. Not just be good, but something like hang your coat up the second you walk in the door. Second, pick a reward that they actually care about, not one you think they should care about. And third, timing is everything. You have to give the reward right away. That immediate connection is what wires the brain to repeat the behavior. Let's look at a quick role-play example for this. Instead of the usual fight about the messy room, the whole conversation shifts. It's now focused on a positive action with a really clear reward. See? You're not punishing the mess, you are actively rewarding the positive action. This immediately lowers their defenses and makes cooperation, not conflict, the easiest path to getting what they want. But what if the behavior you want feels like a huge mountain to climb? Maybe it's a really big habit you're trying to change or a super complex task. Well, that's where our second technique, shaping, comes in. This one is all about breaking big goals down into tiny, manageable steps. Shaping is really just the art of breaking down big goals into small, bite-sized pieces. When you celebrate and reinforce each little step forward, you build momentum, you build confidence, and that makes even the scariest tasks feel totally achievable. And it cuts down on the anxiety that leads to fights and avoidance in the first place. The process here is really straightforward. You start with the end goal in mind, then you work backward, breaking it down into the smallest possible steps. The absolute key here is to reward each successful step. You're turning what could be a long, frustrating slog into a series of small, satisfying wins. Think about the nightly homework battle. We've all been there, right? Instead of this all-or-nothing fight, shaping lets you reward these little victories. 10 minutes of focused work? Great, here's a reward. Then you build to 15, then 20. You are gradually shaping the behavior of focus and independence, one small reinforced step at a time, and you're building their skills and your relationship while you do it. All right, our final technique is contracting, and this one is such a powerful tool for creating clear expectations and mutual accountability. It is especially useful for those recurring conflicts, maybe with teenagers where trust might be a little bit strained. Let's see how it works. Think of contracting as basically creating a formal team agreement for your family. I know it sounds a little businesslike, but it takes all the guesswork, all the arguments, and the emotional heat out of those recurring issues. It clearly defines everyone's responsibilities and the rewards for meeting them, and that creates predictability and safety for everyone.
Now, the absolute key to making a contract work is collaboration. This cannot be a top-down list of demands from the parents. It has to be a negotiation where everyone gets a voice in defining the problem and, more importantly, the solution. That's how you get buy-in. And by making the agreement specific, clear, and putting it in writing, you create a shared commitment to a positive outcome.
This example really highlights the two-way street of a good contract. It's not just about what the teen agrees to do. It also holds the parents accountable for their side of the bargain. This mutual accountability, that's what fosters trust and respect. It can actually help rebuild bridges, even after some really serious disagreements. Okay, so we've got reinforcement for those daily positives, we've got shaping for the big goals, and we've got contracting for mutual accountability. So how do all these powerful tools work together to build stronger, more resilient families, especially when you're navigating really difficult situations? The true power of this CBT approach is that it is not a temporary fix. It's a long-term investment in your family's communication skills. It's proactive, it's strength-based, and it equips your family not just to solve the problems you have right now, but it gives you a shared language to prevent future conflicts from ever escalating in the first place.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this question. Just think about it. Meaningful change doesn't start with trying to fix everything that's wrong all at once. It begins by noticing and nurturing just one small positive behavior. So, what will you choose to focus on today?